Hey everybody, Crystal here, and we're back. We're doing a hot process soap. Man, I've just been in a hot process kind of mood here lately. I absolutely love my hot process soap. Sometimes I like it better than my cold process. I don't know why, I just do. My cold process and my hot process is really different from each other, from the way they feel, but I love my hot process soap. So we're doing another hot process soap today. Yay! The soap that we are doing is called Farmhouse Cider, and I'm going to be doing it in the pot swirl. And the colors I have is this bronze brown, and then I've got this burgundy kind of cranberry red. And then we also got a 24 karat gold mica. So we're doing like a reddish, a brown, and a gold. Sorry. So my additives is already in my crock pot. I'm going to go ahead and add my lye. My lye's got silk in it. And this has got, I'm not using sodium lactate today. I'm using stearic acid.
So you might not want to do.
Alright, so let me rinse this out. Is the water for my stick blender. Let's go ahead and get this blended up. See how it's like curdling? That's from the stearic acid.
I want to see.
This is thickening up really fast. There we go. Alright, so this is good and mixed. It's got a good thick trace. Just want to make sure it's mixed up. Alright guys, so the next step should be Applesauce Stage. And we're going to let it cook till it gets there. And then I'll bring you back, so stay tuned. As you can see, it's rising to the top. And we are in Applesauce Stage now. Hopefully I can get it stirred down so it don't go over. Huh? Yeah, that looks pretty. My kids are getting ready for church. The church bus will be here soon. So we're just stirring this down. I put a lot of oatmeal in this one. I wanted it to be heavy in oatmeal. So that's probably why it's colored the way it is. So we're just stirring it down. It's still really nice and fluid. Looks like it's wanting to separate just a little bit, and I think that's probably from the aloe I put in it. But it's not separating fully. I just see a little bit of oil floating on top there. Alright guys, so we're going to let this cook. And then the next step will be like a light mashed potato consistency. And that's when we stick blend, so stay tuned. It has separated a little bit. So it's time to go ahead and stick blend. Usually I would wait for a thin mashed potato consistency, but it's separating because of the aloe I put in it, so we've got to go ahead and stick blend. Make sure I get my spatula ready. Whoa. There you go, Crystal. Good Lord. Alright. See how it's separating even more? It's starting to come back together now. If I can keep stirring. My hands are getting tired. There it goes. Now it's going to volcano, but it's not together just yet. We still got a little bit to stick blend, but it's volcanoing, so that is a good thing. It looks like after it volcanoes, we're going to have to stick blend one more time. So we're going to let it rise to the top. See how it's rising? Alright, now we'll stir it down. We're still going to have to stick blend because it's still separated a little bit. But we're going to let it rise and let it do its thing. As it's rising, the lye is being cooked out, and the less stick blending we're going to have to do. So I like to let it do its thing. It's cooking, so that's why I watch a lot of people that do hot process. And I mean, I love watching any kind of soap making video, but one of my favorite soapers that does hot process is Kim over at Essential Soap. But she cooks her hot process for like 2.5 hours, and I'm like, how in the world can you cook hot process for that long? It doesn't take that long to make it. Of course, she does it a lot differently than I do. Me, I kind of take two techniques and blend them together. I do regular hot process, and then I do stick blender hot process. So we're going to let it rise, but we'll catch it before it gets too out of whack here. Alright. And it's really creamy because of the aloe. And I only put just a little bit of aloe because I didn't want it to separate on me. But I must have put just enough because it's separating on me. And it's still really fluid. It's not that big, that thick consistency that I need it to be. So we're going to have to stick blend again. Sometimes you just stick blend once. Sometimes you got to stick blend 2 or 3 times. It just depends. And I got my spatula ready. See, we're letting it rise this many times because I need it to be at a thick consistency because it's cooking the lye out. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's more of a thicker consistency. Let's let it rise again. As long as it's going to volcano, I let it volcano. I let it do it. It's what I'm looking for. And the way I do it anyway. There we go. Now we're getting that thick consistency. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's still volcanoing. It's still rising. So we're going to let it do it. As long as it don't come up out of my pot, I'm good. I am good to go as long as it don't do that. Yeah, it's getting good and thick now. That's what I'm looking for, is this thick consistency. Knock my sides down here. Don't want no crusties. Let's see, is it going to rise again? No, I think it's done rising, and it's finished, guys, because it's got that Vaseline look, and it's a darker color because I put a lot of oatmeal in it. I wanted this one to be heavy in the oatmeal department. I like oatmeal soaps. And it smells, oh my gosh, the fragrance, if you guys could smell this fragrance, it smells so good. Like, awesome good. And it's Farmhouse apple cider, and you can smell the apple cider in that. See, that's what happens. We just stick blend a little bit, let it volcano, and then it cooks in like no time. That's why I don't understand why people let their hot process cook for like hours on end. It does not take hours. Well, the way I do it, it doesn't take hours. I don't know about the rest of you, but the way I do things, it don't take that long. Alright, I'm going to turn my crock pot off. I'm going to let it cook for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back with our yogurt and our cream. So stay tuned, guys. Back, and it's been cooking for about 5 minutes. Well, not cooking, but resting. I like to let my soap rest. And there we go. There's that Vaseline look I was looking for. And yes, it's really dark, but that is because of the oatmeal and the kaolin clay and all that. So in with our cream. So we are adding a little bit of cream, a little bit of glycerin. Love glycerin. And then I like to put about 2 tablespoons of yogurt in. So let's get that all mixed up. It should make this go fluid. And I heated up my cream and stuff. I just didn't heat up my yogurt. This should go really nice and fluid. I did a water discount. So I took it out of its crock so it could cool down a little bit. Right now we are at 165, which isn't too bad. I think I could use about one more 1 or 2 more tablespoons of yogurt. Now, I don't discount for my yogurt because I don't put much in. A teaspoon or a tablespoon really doesn't make too whole lot of difference. But I did do a water discount, so it makes up for it. And it's going nice and fluid for me. It's what I wanted.
Mama, what's my favorite?
See, look how fluid that is. And I always wonder what makes it go like this dark color. And I've noticed that every time I put my kaolin clay and my oatmeal and stuff at the beginning, that it turns this real dark color. So I'm going to add just a little bit more glycerin. Shoo, that's hot. I can feel it. The glycerin really adds to the soap. I put glycerin in all my soaps, even my cold processed soaps. So look how fluid that is. Isn't that wonderful? Now it might go back after we put our fragrance in. Sometimes it will go back. But as of right now, it's good and fluid. Okay, it's at 155, so we can go ahead and add our fragrance. And of course, it's anchored in tapioca starch. Whoa, about went over the side there. Oh, I love the way this smells. My gold might not be very gold because my batter is awful dark. Now, I might add just a little bit of TD to it, just to lighten it up a little bit. We'll see how that does. How does that do? This smells so good, you guys. So creamy. Here it goes. It's lightening it up a little bit. Didn't want to put too much TD in there, but it's lightened it up some. We're getting the fragrance good and mixed in. Now the fragrance did make it go back thicker a little bit. Sometimes it does that, and that just means that if I were to be making a cold process soap, that means that fragrance would accelerate my trace. That's usually what it means when you've got fluid hot process soap and then you add your fragrance and it goes back. It's still fluid, as you can see. It's still fluid, but it did thicken it back up a little bit. So I'm just making sure it's well stirred in. And now it's a lighter color since I put a little bit of titanium dioxide in it. So now it'd be a little bit easier to color, make my colors when I put it in there. And we're doing an in the pot swirl with my colors. So, alright, our fragrance is good and mixed in. Pot swirl with my colors. So I kind of make a hole, well, not a hole, but I try to make a little bit of a dent on the inside. So let's do our brown first. So I pour it in one corner and I try to get it all in there. And this looks really pretty when we go to cut it, when I do it this way. So there's the brown. So we're going to mix it up, and I just take my spoon and I mix up this little corner worth, and I make sure I dig deep down. And it'll go to other parts of the soap, but I like to keep it at least right there. Alright, so next we're going to do our red, and we're going to do it over here. in this corner. And if it mixes together a little bit, that's fine. Now, I'll sit here and twist my red, try to get it incorporated. Alright, and now our gold. And it looks more like a yellow than a gold. And our red's mixing in with it a little bit, which is fine. Alright, so now what we do is we kind of just mix it all about. And that is good. That's all we want to do. Let's get our ladle and our mold. And then just start ladling it in.
Hey, turn that off. Turn the sound off.
And it does end up looking really pretty when we go to cut it. There we go. I probably just made a mess with that. That is hot. Guys, my battery went dead. Alright, so I'm going to take these off. You can take them off now. And we're going to fill the rest of the mold up. I try to pour just a little bit from up high because I don't want it to get in between my silicone and my liner. This is going to be so pretty when I go to cut it. With the reds and the golds. Alright. Let's pound it down. Now we got to use our spatula here. Make sure we get all of it. We don't want to waste none. I hope it looks pretty.
Your name is Owen and not Ewan.
That looks like about all of it. Alright, so another pound down. So, and then what I like to do is go across and kind of karate chop it. That's the only thing I can, well here, I'll show you. Make sure you guys can see. Is kind of like karate chop it. And it just gives a rustic look to the top. Because hot process is kind of hard to swirl on top. So I just do this and it gives it just a rustic look, kinda. I think it makes it look good. On the finished bar, of course. Alright, so that is it, guys. That is my in the pot swirl. And that is my Farmhouse apple cider. And here's what it looks like. So we're going to put this in the freezer and then we'll give her a cut here in a little bit, guys, so stay tuned for the cut. Crystal here, and we are back to cut our Farmhouse Cider, and this is Farmhouse Apple Cider. This is what it looks like. I think it looks good. We did an in the pot swirl with our hot process. So let's go ahead and get this cut. I know my cutter is dirty. I'll clean it after I cut this one. Alright. So let's go ahead and get an end piece. Ooh, look how that's going to be pretty, guys. I can already see the sparkle of the gold.
Mama, did you call Nanny and tell her that Lena wasn't going to school?
I'll call her in a minute.
You want me to go down and call her?
Yeah, you can. Just look at that. Isn't that pretty? Gosh, that looks like a painting. Look at that. That is so pretty. It reminds me of a painting. I love doing it in the pot swirl with my hot process, because you never know what you're going to get, and then it's absolutely beautiful. And it smells really good too. That's what I like about hot process, is the scent sticks better than with the cold process. When you make cold process, you risk the scent going out because the soap heats up as it cures for the 24 hours. And then, you know, each fragrance has a flash point, so it might burn off some of the fragrance. But with hot process, you are letting it go down to a certain degree before you add your fragrance, and it seems to stay better. That's one reason why I like hot process over cold process sometimes. Is because the scent sticks a lot better. But isn't that pretty? I think it's pretty. I like the gold and the brown and the reddish color. I think they look good together. And it definitely reminds me of a painting. I really don't like the top that much, but the inside actually looks really pretty. And it smells really good too. I think I just said that though. There's a lot of reasons why sometimes I like hot process over cold process. I don't know why, I just do. I like the way it feels. I like the way the hot process feels against my skin. I mean, not to say that my cold process soaps don't feel good, they do. It's just sometimes I prefer to use a hot process. But it definitely reminds me of a painting. That's crazy. It's very pretty in my opinion. The colors aren't very bright. They're kind of dulled out, but you can still see that they're there. Did you call her?
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's neat. Last piece in the end cut. See the gold? I don't know if you can see the shimmer on there, but I can. I can see the shimmer from the gold and the end piece. Alright guys, so that was the making and cutting of Farmhouse Apple Cider. I love the way it turned out. I think it looks good and it smells amazing. So if you like this video and want to see future videos, then please do subscribe. Hit the like button and of course comment. You know I love it when you guys comment. So I'm going to clean my cutter. I didn't clean it last time I cut, so I definitely got to clean it now. And we're going to put these away guys. So till the next video, bye bye.